Well, 2020 is, it keeps on sending us plenty of curveballs. So, what a great job today to be able to get a win on the road, against a team that, we have not beaten in conference play in the past. The kids, worked very hard in practice this week. We had some adversity with some guys out. I had a couple of guys making their first college start on the offensive line. Walt Stribling, true freshman, in his first college start. And just really thought the kids, practiced very hard this week. We were not perfect today, but the kids, they fought. They did a great job of the game plan. It's just exciting to, get back on the winning side.
Coach, at one point, did you think that you might not play today? Can you give us a timeline on the COVID delay?
I didn't know. I mean, it's this stuff. The one thing I've learned about 2020 is you got to be ready for anything at any time, any day. And just, it's you control what you can control. And, me and the kids, we're sitting there in the locker room. The medical advisory board for the conference was, monitoring everything. And so we were just relieved that we got the green light to go play.
Tyler Snead obviously had a huge day, and really he set it up with those early punt returns, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a great job. I think a lot of that kid, he's tough as nails and just one awesome person and awesome player, and did a great job in the return game, both with punts and kicks. Obviously the kickoff return for a touchdown, big block by Keaton Mitchell, another freshman. But his job on special teams, and then the big touchdown catch on offense were obviously pivotal today.
Obviously, Temple playing a little bit left-handed with their fifth quarterback, but your defense really played well and only giving up 3 points.
Well, you knew we were going to see a young quarterback coming into this game, and of course, we've been there. We played with a freshman quarterback earlier in the season, so you knew what was going on right there with kind of what they were trying to do with Duncan, and then when all of a sudden you have the other kid, 18, show up, similar deal. It's a tough position for that kid to be in. I thought he did a really good job, all things considered. But we had to stop the run. That big offensive line. They're all grad students. Third and fourth year players. Very very good offensive front. Big backs. We knew that was going to be the key to the game, and so I thought our front, our linebackers did a great job of slowing down the run game today.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
We'll open it up for other questions.
Coach, you've talked about some of the post-game locker rooms, especially Tulsa and different games that have been tough and kind of somber. What was that like here, just getting that tangible win?
We needed that bad. I'm just telling you, with some of the breaks we've gotten this year, whether it's Navy or Tulsa or whatever. And I'll tell you, I've struggled all week this week, and it's just, those kids, they are the best thing ever. I mean, it's, you want to have right in your day, just go spend time around our players, because they are so resilient, and I'll tell you, that was jubilation in that locker room in there, and it's they're very relieved, very excited.
Coach, you had a chance to turn things around right there at the end of the half, where Temple tried to score, and you get the interception from Sean. Could have been much closer at halftime. Talk about what that did for your ball club going into the locker room.
Well, I thought it was a great call by Coach Harrell to play over/under on one there into their boundary, and really play for the fade ball. Sean made Jaquan did a good job there at the line of scrimmage, and then Sean did a good job on the over coverage and making the interception. And certainly, our offense, we're going to play it very conservatively, because you're coming off a 20-yard line late in the half. You don't want to do anything to get the ball back to them. But Keaton Mitchell breaking out with a big run to get us across midfield allows us to be a little bit more aggressive, and then get the touchdown to Snead there to go into the half, which really kind of put us in a good position going into the second half.
Coach, can you talk about the play of your inside linebackers, specifically Bruce and Xavier today? They were able to get downhill. I mean, I know that stopping the run was a big priority today.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things we did up front in the game plan really put a lot on them, and I thought they responded, very, very well. And I thought they were physical with their tackling. I thought they did a good job with some of our checks to line of scrimmage, but those two played very well today, and that was a big reason why we were able to slow their run game down.
Coach,
Go ahead.
Coach, can you talk about the running game with Harris and Mitchell? I know they're not playing like true freshmen anymore.
They're not. They're talented players. Really glad we got them. And I thought Darius, first game back from injury, I thought he did some really good things there in the second half as well. But I think that's those three make a really good tandem there in the backfield. But Keaton continues to play well each week. I don't know what the stats are. I don't have them yet. Rajay has been consistent all throughout the season this year, and they're just they're obviously very talented players. I'm glad they're here.
Coach, Holton hasn't run nearly as much this year as the last 2 years, but obviously today had that big run. Does that offer up, the opportunity for him to run a little more? And also, what's the film room going to be like with that little end of play step out of bounds?
Well, I think certainly, you had some quarterback design runs today, and he did a good job with it. I did a good job with that long run there that, should have been for a touchdown. The thing I told him, you're 230 pounds. You're right there at the goal line. Cover the ball up and get across the stripe. Don't make it close. I don't like sticking the ball out like that in that situation. So I just, it's a great coaching moment. He's a very coachable kid. He won't make that mistake again. But I was glad he's able to stick it in on the next snap.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about just winning at the line of scrimmage, maybe for the first time in several weeks? I think the defense had 6 3-and-outs and generated 3 turnovers.
The one thing about the Temple team, and I know they were without some kids and struggling at quarterback, but now those front kids on defense and those front kids on offense, those are the kids that we played against last year, and that's a strong bunch. You look at the way they slowed down UCF last week and the way they ran the ball on UCF, that's a group that's, they can play with anybody in the league. And so that's why I'm so proud of Justin and Walt offensively and our offensive line. Fernando and Sean have been solid all year. Avery Jones, has been a great addition right there. But, Justin and Walt, their first college starts, I thought that group played, very well to give us a shot all day offensively. But and then defensively, you saw, again, we played a lot of kids on the defensive front. And most of those kids are 18 years old. But I think, they get better every single week. Deonte Johnson playing his first significant minutes this week, a freshman out of Virginia. Has just he and Jason Shuford have really been coming on here in the last couple of weeks in practice. So it's great to see them get in there. And I really like that group. They got a lot of energy. They got a lot of potential. And, they're green as all get out. But, they're only going to get better with every snap they play.
Coach, was there any thought to put in another quarterback in the fourth quarter? I know you got stuck with Holton. Can you just walk us through that? Well,
we had Mason warming up. I wanted to get him in there, and it didn't work out. And I don't want to call timeout there at the end. It was a tough day for those guys on the other sideline. I want to be respectful of that. So we wanted to get Mason in there. I hate we didn't. Certainly the game, we're excited to get the win.
In pass coverage, it seemed like you maybe weren't super aggressive and blitzing a ton, but obviously were able to just blanket their receivers. It was that kind of the plan, obviously, was to keep everything in front of you and maybe make the quarterbacks and receivers try and beat you somehow.
We kind of mixed it up. We kind of mixed up coverage and pressure there on third down. Now, we were seeing a lot of Max Pro when they did drop back. And so, when you get Max Pro protection and you're pressuring, it's going to end up with, one-on-one coverage down the field. But, I thought Blake did a good job mixing it up. It was tough today from a standpoint of you don't really, you don't know what they're going to do at times. Sometimes you do, but, sometimes you don't. And so, I thought, they were very aggressive on first down there in the second half, and I thought Blake did a good job of adjusting to that and getting us into some coverage situations there for some of the shots that were taken.
Now, Coach, Brandon Mack, the wide receiver for Temple, he comes in at the beginning of the half as their quarterback. Is that something that y'all looked at, thought about during halftime?
Well, no, we were thinking about that pregame. We knew he'd been a high school quarterback. They have 3 or 4 kids that have been high school quarterbacks on their roster. He was taking some snaps during pregame warmups. So, we knew if they put him in there, it's going to be some kind of quarterback run game, which they did. First play, we had the perfect defense call for the power read right there and just missed the tackle, for a loss in the backfield. Ran the quarterback counter with him. That's what I would have done. They did a good job of that. I mean, they're fortunate to have a guy like that.
Okay, are there any other questions for Coach Houston this afternoon?
Yeah, just one real quick. Are you ready for some more peanut butter pie?
No doubt. The kids were chanting in the locker room, so I don't know who's happier, me or them, but it will be a very enjoyable winner's dinner tomorrow night, and one that these kids, like I said, it's tough with those games like Navy and Tulsa were, and you've had some disappointing games here of recent, and they've worked hard. They need to enjoy that tomorrow night. So I'll be excited for them.
Okay,